Hey guys, mahal everyone, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, bringing you guys another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In this video, we're going to be covering the next upcoming Lost Chapters character, which is going to be Final Fantasy VIII Selphie. This is going to be a great opportunity for those of you that missed out on unlocking her during her initial event release. Now, with this Lost Chapters, we're going to be seeing the debut of Selphie's EX weapon. We're going to be seeing synergy alongside Selphie with Squall and Thancred. We're going to be seeing the return of those bosses called the Coerl Assassins, and Selphie herself is going to be getting a level 70 awakening. However, unlike the previous Lost Chapters that we just got, which is for Noctis and Alice, Selphie will actually not be seeing a rework on top of her level 70 awakening. She's only going to be getting her level 70 awakening. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at what her level 70 awakening gives her and how she's going to be stacking up, especially right now that we're in the Cosmos era of Global DFFOO. So her level 70 awakening is going to be giving her her level 70 crystal passive, so her 61 through 70. The ones that are key and ideal that you want to look out for are going to be her 65, which is going to be giving her her ability recovery, which will be recovering one usage of Drain and Wall up to their initial values. There's no action delay, remember, on this ability, and there's also no turn count used except during a summon or friend. At 68, she's going to be getting her aura passive called Resonance of Bravery and Power. It's going to be giving a 10% initial Brave and Max Brave increase to the entire party. And then at 70, her ability Recover is going to be further improved. So now when she uses it, not only is she going to be recovering a usage to her two abilities, she's also going to be healing the party's Brave by 30% of her own Max Brave and the party's HP by 30% of her own Max HP. And then finally, her Bloomstone. It's not going to give her an additional usage to this ability, but what it's going to do is that it's going to further improve the Brave and HP heal to the party. Now, if you plan on building Selphie, just remember that the artifact passives you definitely want to focus on are going to be Life of Travia Boost 2-star, and the reason why is because that improves her level 50 passive, which is actually an aura that's applied to the entire party. And then finally, you're going to want to focus on Max Brave plus 330. So overall, while Selphie did not get a rework with this Lost Chapters, her level 70 awakening actually gives her a really strong third ability. That ability Recover is pretty darn powerful. I mean, being able to recover her abilities by one usage up to their initial values, plus it doesn't even take up a turn count in itself, is already amazing. Anytime a character can increase their longevity by recovering their ability uses is pretty cool. And I can understand why they didn't give you two uses, they only gave you one, because this is quite a strong ability. Now, the extensions to that are actually quite good too. So if you take a look at it, the level 70 allows you now to heal the party's Brave and also their HP. And then if you have the Bloomstone, it further increases the potencies of that ability of the Brave heal and the HP heal. So overall, I think her level 70 awakening does do her a little bit of justice. Now, I know when Selphie first came out, she was quite a powerful character because she offered us that really powerful wall framed buff, which reduces the amount of incoming Brave damage that the party receives. It also gave us debuff evasion rate. Now it's not 100%. It's not like Lena's, where Lena's is 100%, but it's at a high enough percentage to where you can actually have a high chance of evading a lot of debuffs that the enemy targets like to use. And to top it off, she has her Drain, which allows her access to be able to heal the party based on the HP damage she deals. Now, Selphie's glaring weakness obviously was her inability to do any kind of strong Brave damage. So unfortunately, Brave damage wise, she's not going to be your go-to unit for that, but she's still a really solid unit. And I feel like her third ability and her Bloomstone passive is definitely something that's worth investing in if you decided to save your Bloomstone for this, because it actually is quite a good ability. Now let's go ahead and quickly talk about the banner that's going to be coming out. So that for me is also one of the big highlights for this Lost Chapters, the debut of her EX weapon. I did cover this EX weapon in detail during my X Factor Part 15, so I'll be leaving the link to that video down in the video description, as well as the pinned comments if you guys want to know what that weapon does. But in a nutshell, what it does is it first of all does a Brave heal to the entire party, so it's a Brave battery. It also gives you a Brave regen. I believe the percentage of the Brave regen, it's either at 40 or 60%. It's at one of those two percentages, but it's covered more in detail in my X Factor video. So that's pretty good, right? And then it has a very unique feature, which I feel like really sells this EX weapon, in that it increases the recast rate of everybody's EX ability, including Selphie's. And to top it off, this EX ability, fully max limit broken, is at a slightly fast recast speed. And it does not take up a turn count when you use this. So you could essentially create like an EX burst team with this. Like imagine using this EX ability, for example, with Lightning's EX ability, or with Vayne's EX ability, being able to accelerate everybody else's EX abilities. This is why I said that when this weapon first comes out, it's actually a really good and recommended pull, because it is so unique. And also it'll make Selphie significantly more viable for the entire Cosmos era, or what's left of it. And also I will say this, it's gonna make her fairly useful for some of the earlier parts of Chaos, because if you pair her up with a future character such as Ultimisia, and Ultimisia in a nutshell does some really crazy turn shenanigans, and essentially she can loop time with her EX ability. If you pair that up with somebody like Selphie, you can see the potential of what this EX ability can do. And to top it off, the recast speed is pretty fast on it, especially because she also accelerates her own recast speed. So I would recommend to try and pull this EX weapon. Now the banner mates on this is going to be Squall and Thancred. The good thing about these two banner mates is that they both got a rework. Between the two of them currently right now, I feel like Squall is the stronger one of the two, because Squall can actually do pretty well even if you don't have his EX weapon. With Thancred, he still needs his EX weapon, so you're not necessarily pulling for him on this banner, but luckily he did get a rework previously, so neither one of the two characters are like bad pulls. So they're not bad on this banner. So overall, it's a pretty good banner, decent banner mates, and the EX ability itself is really good. Now, if you decide to pass on it, I did mention this before again on previous videos, but this weapon does come back on another banner. It's going to be featured alongside Noctis's EX weapon and a brand new character that we're going to be seeing later on with Lisa's EX weapon. And also, Selphie's EX weapon at that time is going to be getting an EX Plus, and Selphie is also going to get a rework herself. So she actually becomes much better. But if you decide to pull for it now, it's actually a pretty good pull, because it does something unique that no other EX weapon does, and it just helps your party out in general with what it does. So overall, very good EX weapon. Now the last things we're going to touch up on is going to be those Coerl assassin bosses. Now remember, since this is Lost Chapters, the highest difficulty that we're going to be seeing right now is EX. So it's another breather fight. I'm just going to be straight up honest. If you have characters like Noctis or like Vayne or some other good characters, Warrior of Light built up right now, it's really just going to be a breather fight. It's not going to be too difficult, but just a little bit of details on it. Both of the bosses are weak to fire. They have no other resistances. They have that standard initial chase value of 40. Abilities to watch out for: they like to switch between upright and crouching stance. When they're in upright stance, they generally just utilize melee brave attacks with some HP attacks. Crouching stance is where they're most dangerous, because they utilize magic brave attacks, but they also inflict a host of various debuffs. So the following debuffs that they can inflict during crouching stance are poison, turn rate down, paralysis, max brave down, confusion, initial brave down, attack down, and speed down. They can also dispel non-frame buffs on your party members, and also they can increase their own stats. So if you want to be able to deal with the whole debuffs, Selphie for one, because she's synergy, really good for that. Lena, 100% debuff evasion, and then Yuna, who recently just got a small rework and her level 70 awakening, can also deal with that as well with her Esuna, and if you happen to have her EX weapon pulled, makes her even better, because now she has offensive capabilities. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with the gameplay visual showcase. I am going to take the synergy party. Like I said, Selphie did get a rework. My Squall has his EX Plus weapon, not fully max limit broken, but it's EX Plus. Thancred, sadly, I did not get a majority of his gear, but I'm just going to take him anyways, because honestly, this fight is not going to be too hard. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right into it. Alright, we're going to open up with Wall, just because it's always good to have. You have that, decreased brave damage that you're receiving. And generally what I like to do if you're going to be taking Squall is to save a majority of your Renzokuken Plus for the actual boss fight, because we know there's 2 of them, and that's what makes Squall really, really strong, even currently right now in Global DFFOO, because he could deal with multiple targets, and it's 100% AoE HP damage, provided that, you know, you have that buff on him, or you either have him at a certain initial Brave, or you have that buff that he gets now from his first ability. Right. So first waves, especially even in Global too, since we already have some pretty strong characters, you don't necessarily really need to burn through your abilities too much. Especially on the trash mobs. Okay, so we're gonna get the poison on with Thancred, because Thancred does do more damage if the target is poisoned. So something to keep in mind. And this mid-boss, I believe this is the Motherweed, if I remember correctly, has ads, so just watch out for those ads. We still have Wall available on everybody else, so let's just go with her HP Attack Plus. And remember, Selphie gets her HP Attack Plus if you have her EX weapon limit broken all the way up to 3. And what it does is, you know, she deals HP damage, and she also recovers everybody else's Brave, so it's pretty good. All right, so here's Aura. So again, she recovers everybody's Brave, gives everybody a Brave regen, and also increases their EX ability recast rate, and it doesn't take up a turn count. So it's quite a powerful EX ability. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just go with Solid Barrel here. You don't really need to worry about the ads. Gonna save my EX ability. Awesome, awesome. So one more wave and then we get to see those bosses. Again, breather fight, so great way for us to get more gems, get those achievements pretty easily. Alright, so we need to refresh the wall because we only have it active now on Selphie and Thancred. And also we want that debuff evasion rate. I believe for Selphie it's at 80%, so it's not at 100% like Lena's, but it's still really good. I mean, 80% is pretty high. And we're gonna have her EX ability up really, really soon because of her aura. Alright, so I want to apply the poison on this guy. Okay, so they're both in crouching stance right now. Let's start using some Renzokukens here. Okay, so none of the... Oh, we got a debuff on Thancred, so Thancred didn't evade that one. Okay, alright, so there's Aura. Nice. Okay. And what I'm going to do here now is I'm just going to summon, because... Or actually, no, wait. I will... Yeah, you know what? Let's just summon right now. Just take advantage of the amount of Renzokuken damage that we could deal during the summon phase. Let's just keep dealing damage here. Get poison off on this guy. You should have Aura up soon. Yep, Aura's up soon. Let's get the wall back up so we can get everybody's brave high. Here we go. Alright, so we're gonna Aura again, and then we're just gonna go into Drain. The Selphie's EX ability is really cool. Lots of utility and really cool functionality, especially with that acceleration to everybody else's EX ability. Very useful. Okay, so even though we're running out of abilities here with Squall, I am not too worried. Alright, and something I did forget to mention, when one of them goes down before the other, they're gonna increase their stats, or one of them is gonna increase their stats, and they last for 10 turns, so I just want to keep that in mind, but honestly, it really still shouldn't be that big of a deal, considering we have a pretty impressive roster right now in Global that we could take to be able to deal with these enemies. And there we go. That ends the fight right there. So that is gonna conclude this gameplay visual showcase. Hopefully you guys found that useful, especially for those of you guys that didn't get a chance to fight against these bosses during the initial event release for Selphie. But anyways, guys, Selphie's coming back, so take some time to build her up. And if you can pull for her EX, pull for it, because it actually is a pretty powerful EX weapon. Once again, this is 40 the Broadway Saiyan. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for my next video, and mahal, everyone.